Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in this gospel, broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just another lesson through the Spirit. I was going into this emergency alert, election warning, stay at home, communications blackout. From the full spectrum survival. Okay, this guy puts out videos on a daily basis about, current events, prepping, World War III. Like he got this new video stated 7-day warning, something big is getting ready to go down. Then alert election warning, which is the video that we currently have pulled up. And then also explosives are being loaded. American emergency missiles have been fired. U.S. military ready for war. He was mentioning something about the draft, okay, that they are fully aware over in the UK. And I actually have another video as well that's going into it. It's about a minute and 30-something second video. And also I wanted to kind of show how it relates to what they call this cloward-piven strategy, okay, which brother made mention of it yesterday in the video. And he was going into how the migrants were crossing the borders and how they was foreign military. And it makes every sense in the world, because if there's a draft that's getting ready to be reinstated through NATO, the EU, or the Western Allied forces, then it makes sense that this cloward-piven strategy with these migrants and a societal collapse and war all goes full circumference, so to speak. So yeah, it's safe to say that things are getting ready to heat up. Abba Ratazah, this be the year that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai really turns the heat up on this place and finally get us out of this hell. I was on a phone cursing out the my landlord, and also I was cursing out the fucking the energy companies, the Spire companies, because it's like they got minutes per unit, how they measure gas and how you use your furnace. But yeah, we just got hit with 30 below temperatures for about a week and a half straight. And yet my bill is damn near $200. And it's like the colder it is, the more they charge you, parts per unit, so to speak, which is wickedness, man. And also with this, with the apartment complex, when it gets cold, little mice and little field mice, they come in and keep warm. It's typical for apartments, lofts and stuff like that. So I've been having these apartment complexes. I've been kind of pestering them for about a year to come and patch up these particular holes. But yet they didn't want to see. And it's like I felt like they kept putting my work orders on the back. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm making note of all this shit. Because if I got to take these assholes to court, then hey, I have a leg to stand on. Because they don't give a fuck about Jake. And they already feel some type of way about me, which I don't give a fuck. I ain't done nothing to these people. I pay my rent on time. I mind my business. But, when you come in the crib, I do got the 12 tribe post up. And I got Yahweh and Yahweh Shai like a placard on the wall in Hebrew. So when they see that, they already get in their mindset, oh, this guy don't like white people, or he's one of them people. And I'm pretty sure they probably got the fucking crib bug too, but who cares? At the end of the day, we ain't doing nothing but teaching. But anyway, so I updated my renter's insurance policy, because I got a cheaper rate. So the lady called me and was like, hey, you got to send us your declaration. I'm like, well, my insurance agent already sent it to you. What happened? She said, well, we didn't receive it. She said, well, you have about 8 o'clock tomorrow. 8 o'clock to tomorrow to send it. I'm like, then what happened? She said, we're going to charge you. I said, y'all must be pretty pissed off, because I sent the health department. Because I sick the health department on their ass. I had them come out and look at some things, and they basically got on them and said, y'all need to fix this shit or we going to fine y'all. And they didn't like that. So now they want to play retaliation, which they can get in trouble for that. So this shit got to go down, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like a little situation I was just going through, it's not important, but just the fact that this is the reason why, hey, how about Shai is going to put these devils down. And you're seeing that kingdom fall, and they notice it, and they're seeing it, and they're feeling it. And they don't like the fact that Jake is getting built up through the spirit, and they can feel it. Okay, so anyway, enough about that, Salak. It was just like a little ordeal I was going through this morning. Nothing too big. But anyway, I'm going to play a little bit more of this video. Then I'm going to play the other video. Then we're going to go through a list of this little cloward-piven strategy, which they sound like small hats. Okay, Amalekites. And we just going to get a couple of precepts on how the military, or the American military, is going to be pretty much shoved away from this soil to fight a war on many fronts that they would not win. Possibly is impossible for them to win it For one thing, they ain't got enough troops. Second of all, the Lord's not dealing with them. Third of all, this is the war to end all wars. So by default, they need to have some type of military to come in and to replace the current military, which is going to put brutal hell on you Americans, starting with you damn women. Okay, you women, your reign of terror is just about up. Okay, so anyway, without further delay, let me read this real quick in case somebody want to get simple. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107. It says it's made for fair use for the purpose such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips in the balance in favor of fair use. So there we go. All right. So with that being said, let's go into the video. We're going to get a couple of precepts in that.
Israel, but it will be devastating for Lebanon. Israel will not cease fire until it can guarantee the safe return of the northern communities to their homes following a change in the security situation along the border. He said, "We are approaching a stage that calls for a movement deep into the Lebanese territory." Now, let me tell you, in plain speak, that means they're going to war with Lebanon. Lots of things heating up in the Middle East. It's time that we start paying attention to gas and oil prices, the supply chain issues that we're about to have, and what's really going to happen on the back end with China and Russia controlling some of the minerals that are necessary that come out of the Middle East. Now, Germany just waived allowing foreign citizens into the army, even from countries outside of the European Union.
Right now, that's what they were saying. They was allowing foreign entities to join. Even with a lot of these migrants, a lot of them are going to be engrafted into the U.S. military. Same thing with joining the police force. This is kind of going on statewide and nationwide now. You know, Illinois is adopted. California, and I believe one other state, basically allowed illegal, so-called illegals, because really not Northern Kingdom. They do have every right to this land, but let's call them immigrants or migrants, whatever you want to call them. Basically, they got pretty much a free citizenship to join the U.S. military or the police force, and a lot of them are getting health care, zero cost down, no money. They're getting subsidized housing. They're getting hit with $3,000 vouchers, and they're getting driver's license in as little as 4 months. When you had to take the average American citizen years to get these things in order, man. You think I got free health care? Hell nah. Because even if it's so-called free, I'm still paying a contribution to it through my city, through the fucking, through the city, to the city, through my job and stuff, which is damn near $100 fucking dollars. So it's free for them, but not for us. How ironic, right? But the health of this place is falling anyway. This ain't our rest, so it is what it is.
So we have the UK telling people, get ready, you're about to be drafted. We have the United States of America acknowledging that our army is too small to be able to handle the reality of a multi-fronted war.
There you go. Bingo. There you go. There go your United States draft. Okay, remember back in 2022 when they went down to Ukraine and everybody was bugging out? These women and these simple rules out here, the one that wanted to join the military for clout, just to feed their TikToks and their Instagrams with all these Hellcats and fatigue uniforms, making it seem like they're just making all this money. Hey, they gonna call you to the Call of Duty. All you women that thought you got out of the military, and they gonna call your ass right back, and you gonna have to go down there and fight that war. All right, I think the age now is up to 41. So hey, they're calling people back. They don't need a draft. So if you start getting them young draft letters, they don't say that it didn't come. We warned you. Okay, because ain't no way in hell that NATO was using 90,000 troops to show off their drills called Operation Steadfast Protection or something like that, 2024, which is set to end in May. Ain't no way in goddamn hell that 90,000 troops can flex on a million man army. That's crazy. That's weak. They ain't got the numbers. So they getting ready to start recruiting. And a lot of these people coming across the borders, a lot of them going to end up being recruited and shipped over to the mill. They're going to mainly ship Jake over there, like Issachar, Ephraim, Zebulon. They're going to ship a lot of them Israelites over there to fight that war, man. But a lot of them foreigners like those Afghanis and these, small hats and these other nations, Iran, them what do you call them? Somalian motherfuckers, man. them Hamites coming over here, which they love you, Jake women. Okay, they gonna have a field day with you. They gonna piss on you. But even with those, what do you call them guys, man? Fuck, I just lost the train of thought. But regardless of it, they're gonna send a lot of Jake over there to fight the end of war, and a lot of the foreigners are gonna be here. The Ukrainians, they're gonna be here on the soils, and they're gonna be brutalizing you Americans, man. All right, but hey,
we have Germany saying they're going to bring in people from outside of the EU to be drafted or to be allowed into their army. Sweden's telling their citizens to get ready for war. Russia is already at open, prime conflict. China's about to take on Taiwan. We have Israel saying that a new war is about to start. Guys, this is starting to get hot, and it's happening very quick. The U.S. Navy's Mideast chief has called on the allies of America to show them that Iran is directly involved in the rebel ship attacks that are...
Yep, and they did a post that they said this is the lowest that the recruits have been in decades. Okay, they did a consensus. They said back in 2011, you had 65% of the people saying they're proud to be American. Now only 30-something%, I believe, is only consenting to that idiom. So it's getting ready to go down out here, man. All right. So I want to bring out another video real quick. Now we're going to get a couple of precepts. Slakia. Here we go.
There's a call tonight for the UK to train a citizens' army to fight a war on land in the future. And it comes from the head of the army. General Sir Patrick Sanders made his comments while highlighting the threat from Russia. Well, our defence correspondent Jonathan Beale is here with me. Jonathan, this sounds quite alarming.
It may sound alarming, but he is not the only person who is warning of a potential conflict in Europe. We've heard similar from the head of NATO's military committee, from the German defence minister, even Grant Shapps saying we're moving from a post-war to a pre-war era. Why are they saying this? Because of Russia, because of what it's doing in Ukraine. They do not think that is the limit of President Putin's ambition. Specifically, what General Sanders is calling for is preparation for, in effect, mass mobilisation, the creation of a citizens' army. That doesn't mean people are going to get call-up papers or there's going to be people forced to join the military. But the preparations, he says, should be there. Why? Because the army, the regular army, has been cut to 73,000. Even with extra reserves, he says, that will not be enough. Of course, the inference too, probably, that we're not spending enough as a country on defence. Now, of course, this gets politicians, particularly in an election year, very nervous. Today, Downing Street said these remarks were very unhelpful. That said, I don't think General Sanders really cares. He's coming to the end of his term. He said he does not want the country to be in a position as it was in the summer of 2014, when all the alarm bells were ringing before the First World War and they were largely ignored. This is his wake-up call.
Thank you very much.
So there it is. All right, there you go. So all you people that thought you escaped the military because the whole Ukrainian conflict, hey, your ass going right back down and you going straight to the Middle East to meet our Lord. Okay, this thing is really finna go down, brothers, man. And it's exciting times, man. Even though we gotta still undergo the society bullshit in this society, look, the Lord's getting ready to drop this place like a bad habit. Okay, sooner or later, people ain't gonna be going to work. People ain't gonna be paying no goddamn rent. People ain't gonna be paying no fucking taxes. Like, you really don't hear them pressing people about filing taxes this year, because at the end of the day, it's like, who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? The only thing they do is taking the money and they sending it overseas and they housing the people that's coming across the border. People don't give a shit. People are like, man, fuck y'all. Why are we paying y'all to take our money and charge us for it? Like, fuck you. This is why the IRS hired, I believe, like 80-something thousand so-called armed agents to go door to door, collect the money. And that's gonna end, and that's gonna end bad for them, because for one thing, people ain't gonna settle for somebody coming to their door and shaking them down for money. That's the quickest way you can get your head blown off. You bam in one of these Edomites' doors with some type of tax declaration, they're gonna blow your goddamn head off, man. Okay, and so be it. You know, we just gonna stick around for the show and we gonna praise Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, so let's go to get a precept here. This is the book of 2 Ezra 16. Because this war is getting ready to be brutal, man. All right, it's going to get bad. It's going to be a war on this soil, okay, in the form of civil war. People ain't gonna be going to work during the time of a civil war. People gonna burn these government buildings down. You know, they're gonna hunt their bosses, the lawyer. Hey man, this is why people are building bunkers, because they know people are coming for their heads, man. All right, but it says here, this is the book of 2 Ezra 16, and I'm gonna start at verses 31. It says, even so in those days that there should be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword, and the earth should be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man should travel there through, right? Because you ain't gonna have any public works in the cities, tree trimming, doing concrete, you know, taking the trash out. You know, people ain't gonna be working when all hell breaking loose, especially with how expensive it is to live. People, you know, rents are going up. Everything is going up as far as resource-wise, but your paychecks are remaining the same. But yet they expect you to come to work and put in the same effort, you know what I'm saying, to do what you're supposed to do, but yet they not paying you. And then they want to give you this motivational speech about how you wrong for not having to work more out, man. People like, fuck that shit. We ain't dealing with this anymore. Okay? And it says here, and the virgins shall mourn, having no bridegroom, and the women shall mourn, having no husbands, and their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. Okay? And it says, in the wars should they bridegrooms be destroyed. So all you niggas out here, all you tough guys, all you men that think you're so tough, you think you're cute, you know, with your accolades, and, you know, you're doing your little shooting online and all you other guys. And for one thing, Esau, what he needs to do, honestly speaking, this is what you should do, Esau. Start at the age of 12 and get all these gremlins, go through every major city in America, because every major city got a bunch of grimy gremlins in there. Start all the way from New York and sweep the nation. 12 and stop at motherfucking 45. Go through and grab every nigga, okay, that's a degenerate, that's a drug dealer, that's a murderer, that's shooting guns, that's robbing people. Grab the Kia boys. Grab them. That's your military right there, man. Okay, I'm trying to tell you, bro, you can get your numbers up kind of easily if you just go through and you grab these perishable goods anyway. What do they call? What do they live for? The only thing they do is rob their own people. They rob fucking 7-Elevens and corner stores. They jack each other. They shoot at each other. They blow each other away over fucking Xbox or over 2K24. These are the men that you need fighting for you, man. Because when you do the research in ancient world, men of war, they wasn't really wrapped too tight mentally, man. These men, they was on edge. So, hey, you look at these little GMO corn dog eating niggas. Hey, Chicago, hey, bro, they full of lead. They full of estrogen. They full of Harold chicken. Get them niggas, man. Okay, go through, grab all them niggas from O-Block, grab Lil Durk, grab all them clowns, and then send them over to the Middle East. I mean, they already got the so-called battle experience anyway. Okay, they shoot at each other. They got guns. I mean, you got niggas putting drums on fucking 22s, bro. Like, how the hell you do that? Nigga got a drum on an RPG. Like, wait a minute. Spamming rockets. All these GTA players, get them, man. Get them. Get Tay-Tay, get Pookie, get Ray, get Keisha. Send them over there, man. Go, man. Send them to war. That's what they did. What purpose do they serve? Okay, you need bodies, right? Then go over there and send them niggas over there so they can be destroyed. That's all you gotta do, bro. If I was E and I ran this shit, I would grab all them niggas up. I would get them against their will. You know what I'm saying? I'll come 2 o'clock in the morning, I'll pull up, cut the power, kick in the door, bam, put the bag, throw their ass in. Hey, if they want to get stupid, boom, like Denzel said in training, he said, boom, he give a shit, boom, we giving him lead. Hey, if he try to resist, then blow his top. Because it's going to happen any goddamn way. Send them niggas over there, man, okay? They ain't going to do nothing anyway but fold under pressure. You know? But it says, in the wars should thy bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands should perish of famine. So, hey, the wars. What wars is it talking about? Civil war, proxy war, and ultimate world war. All right, World War III, baby. Let's go. Let's get it. All right, so anyway, this is something called the cloward-piven strategy, which it all ties back. Because at the end of the day, war is all for economics, man. What they call geopolitics, and economics is all about making the bankers rich. You know, like they say, hey, the buy when the blood is high in the streets, they're going to collect their return. It's all this about. All right, so it says the cloward-piven strategy is a political strategy outlined in 1966 by American sociologists and political activists Richard Cloward and Francis Fox Piven. It says, it is the strategy of forcing political change leading to societal collapse. Bam, borders. Bam, blackouts. Bam, economic collapse, CBDCs, war, or geopolitics. It says through orchestrated crisis, okay? And when you think of something that's orchestrated, that means that it's planned out, okay? Meaning that it's not just out of nowhere. These things have been planned out. And they've put what they call test runs or simulations into play as a playbook to show you how this thing gonna go down. It says the cloward-piven strategy seeks to hasten the fall of capitalism by overloading the government bureaucracy with a flood of impossible demands and amassing massive unpayable national debts. Hey, look at the national debt clock now. We're close to 34 trillion, probably higher than that because it's going up as we speak. It says, and other methods such as unfettered immigration, as we're seeing, thus pushing society into crisis and economic collapse by overwhelming the system. Okay, and this is the point. This is what we're seeing now. Yep. History. Strategy. Oh, wow. It says the cloward-piven's article focused on forcing the Democratic Party. What are the chances of that? We have a Democrat in office now. And you notice when they're elected or selected, then things typically go to shit. Taxes go up, inflation goes up, crime goes up. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a shit show. But yet you got Jake out there that would go. Jake would literally go back to the polls and vote for Biden. And Biden said, well, look, man, I'm going to increase child support payments for black women. He'll win the black vote off that, mainly women, because Jake, men don't really vote like that. It'd be the fucking women that go down there and vote. You know, or if he said, well, look, I will give you an extra $10 to $15 allowance in food stamps every month. He'll win a black vote off that, man. Because Jake is just that damn stupid. But it says in 1966, which controlled the presidency in both houses of the United States Congress to take federal action to help the poor. It says they stated in full enrollment to help the poor, but they stated in the full enrollment that those eligible for welfare would produce bureaucratic disruption in welfare agencies and fiscal disruption in local and state governments that would deepen existing divisions among elements in the big city Democratic coalition. Bam. Sounds like some Chicago, New York type shit. LA. It says the remaining white middle class, the working class, ethnic groups, and the growing minority poor. But to avoid further weakening of that historic coalition, a national Democratic administration would be constrained to advance a federal solution to poverty that will override local welfare failures and local class and radical or racial conflicts and local revenues dilemmas, man. So basically, it's all set up to destroy the economy, man. This is why they spend billions of dollars on government budgeting and spending a year, military, particular programs. Where we got this program, we need $36 billion for that program, and it just overloads the system. So basically, your blue hats or your blue ties or your blue states and the red states, they're all set up to bring in the demise of your so-called beloved country, America. Which this place is through, man. The hell with it. We ready to get the fuck out of here, bro. And if anybody still have faith in this place, then that's on you. All right. One more precept. This is the book of Joel 2, and I'm gonna start at verses it says 20. It says, but I will remove far from you off the northern. It says, but I will remove far off from you the northern army. That's the American military, and will drive him into a land that's barren and desolate, with his face towards the east sea and his hinder part towards the utmost sea. And his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he have done great things, because this war in what they would consider the Middle East, man. Okay. This is the Middle East here, and it says remove from you the northern army. It's talking about the American army, because now you got a foreign military in here, which goes back into that cloward-piven strategy. Okay, and that's where that guy was from. That guy that did too. I think he was from Azerbaijan or something like that, right off the Caspian Sea. He was from one of them Arab countries. Okay, but nonetheless, man, hey, this thing is getting ready to go down. Hey, the scriptures say, behold, the third woe coming quickly. So, hey, may this be the year our Lord and Savior does something major on the planet Earth. Because remember, we still got that solar eclipse, and we got a lunar eclipse coming this year. So, call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Rakakodash. Lord's will you edify